what time it is. You know what time it is. You know whose time it is. You know what time it is. Matthew Mania, the time it says. You know what time it is. You know whose time it is.
Welcome to the Matthew Mania podcast. I'm Matthew Maschler, real estate broker who watches wrestling as if it's my job. And today I want to tell you a funny story. I want to talk to you about uh, one of my newest obsessions, handbags. It's kind of weird, but I'll tell you. Uh, about a year ago, year and a half ago, I was heading to my brother's house for Passover, and my brother says to me, "Hey Matt, where's Wendy?" I said, "When he's not coming, she couldn't make it. It's just me and David." And he goes, "Oh, I thought she wasn't coming, but what are you holding in your hand?" And I go, "Oh, that's my bag. I take it on the plane. I need something to take on the plane for my headphones and my iPad." And um, I go, "Do you like it?" And he goes, "You know, you were walking up to the house," and I'm like, "Is my brother holding a purse, like holding a pocketbook?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I guess you could say it's a pocketbook." So I wasn't totally addicted back then, but I've become more and more addicted, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about why. And it really started with the need to go on an airplane, and I do travel a lot, and to be able to have the things I need: a sandwich, and an iPad, and my AirPods, maybe a book or a magazine, my tickets with me, easy to get to. I have another carry-on with my laptop and electronics and stuff I want to put in the overhead compartment, but I need something that's smaller that I can put on the floor, like under my legs. I can get in and out of an iPhone charger or whatever I need during the flight. And I will say this actually goes back a little bit older than that, like 25 years ago when I first met Wendy. And I think one time I used like a garbage bag or something to put some things in to transport from one place to another. Um, and she was mortified. Um, Over the years, what I would do is when she would go shopping, I would keep the Macy's or Bloomingdale's or J.C. Penney's bags. I'd keep the supermarket plastic bags. So if I was leaving the house and going to the movies, I would grab like a supermarket plastic bag to throw, maybe some snacks in to take to the movie theater. I would take that Macy's shopping bag with me. I'd throw some legal pads in it, and if I don't want to bring my briefcase, I'd throw some pens, legal pads, uh, phone chargers. Laptop, not really. A laptop would be a little too heavy for one of those shopping bags. That's when I would really, get to the briefcase. And when I would use either a supermarket shopping bag or a department store shopping bag, again, when he's a little bit horrified, a little bit mortified by it, and rightfully so. Um, and and then when David was born, so what I would do to solve the shopping bag issue, what I did was I actually created my own custom shopping bags with the real estate finder logo on it. Matthew Maschler. I think the first one was just Matthew Maschler, real estate broker. So I'd ordered these custom shopping bags, and then that would be my bag, and I could throw if I was going to a closing, I could throw some paperwork and some pens in the bag. If I had some gifts to bring, to the customer, I could throw it in the bag, and then the bag was portable. I could use it once or twice, throw it away. I didn't have to hold it with me, and at least it was a little bit more upscale than those department store bags. And then when I started going to football games with David, the NFL had the clear bag policy, and all the football teams would have their logo. But then the WrestleManias, they would make the clear bags that were good for a football stadium because the WrestleMania was in the football stadium, and they'd have this clear bag, and the clear bag was perfect. I'd go to a football game and put in some chargers, some napkins, some straws, because sometimes they didn't have some straws, maybe some catch-ups, and some different things to go to, and phone chargers. I don't know if I said that, battery packs, and I'd go to the NFL games with that. And so if I was going to the airport, I'd have my regular rollaway carry-on, and then I'd have this plastic bag, the WrestleMania or the Dolphins clear bag that's good for football games that I'd throw a couple things into, so I didn't have to put it in the overhead compartment, and I'd have that. What I liked about those clear bags is they stood up on their own, nice big opening on top, so I could reach in and just grab whatever I needed. Um, And I was very happy with the situation. But then I would look at some of the other passengers and some of the more upscale men that were a little bit more put together. They would have some kind of bag, a little duffel, and sometimes it was designer, Gucci or Louis Vuitton or something like that. So one day I get on the airplane and I'm sitting next to a football player. I don't remember who he was. He was on the Giants. His name sounded familiar, but I think that's because um, his dad used to play, and his dad had the same name. I was a little confused by that actually, because I think I might have even said to him, "I'm like, wait a minute, did you play in the '90s?" He's a young guy, and he was really put together, and he really had a nice bag. So I came home, I said to Wendy, I go, Wendy, I don't want to use this NFL clear bag. I want to get a nicer bag, and I would um I would shop. I couldn't find the bag I wanted. I didn't want a briefcase. I want something again that could stand up on its own. I could put it under my legs, under this, in between the back of the seat, put my legs in front of it. Could stand up on its own. Had a big opening, so I can get my iPad in and out, chargers in and out, bagel or sandwich in and out. Um, and I shopped for a while, and I eventually found a Goyard, uh, and I guess it was a lady's pocketbook, but it didn't look too like I'd look in the mirror. I'm like, does it look like I'm carrying my wife's handbag? And so I ended up getting that. And I ended up using it for a little while. I was very happy with it. Um, and then that was the bag that I'd brought to my brother's house in Passover, April of 2024, let's say. Is that my brother with a woman's handbag? Is that my brother with a pocketbook? All right, is it handbag, pocketbook, or purse? All right, put in the comments if you're watching this, if you're on YouTube or whatever, or social media, put in the comments. What do you call it? A handbag, a pocketbook, or a purse? So my brother said to me, "Is that so that's what I would use instead of a shopping bag, my personal shopping bag, or an NFL bag." And then I was reading in GQ, there was a Louis Vuitton, Pharrell Williams did this men's design of a new Speedy um, duffel bag. This is actually one of them. I should podcast is really a audio. I apologize to the people listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast or Stitcher or iHeartRadio or Pandora or Amazon. Um, I'm recording over video, so we could drop this. I think we could do full episodes on YouTube, big clips on YouTube, but I forget that not everybody's watching the video. So GQ magazine did a little. It was either GQ or Rob Report did something about the Pharrell Williams handbags, and I went to the Boca Mall, couldn't find any, so I was in Miami or Las Vegas, and then I saw some. So then one day and then they were all a little kind of hard to get. So one day I was in Miami, and they actually had it was called a Speedy size 40. I didn't know anything about it. Now I know it's a Speedy 40 Damier Pop. It was green. They had four colors: green, red, yellow, and blue. So I got the green one, and I loved it, and it became my kind of replaced my briefcase a little bit. Now, actually, a year before that, I did buy a Hermes bag that replaced my briefcase before the addiction. Um, uh, didn't know it then. Now I know it's called the Bolide. Um, but just if I was in the store, kind of like with Wendy and looking around, and I'm like, I was looking at it and looking in the mirror. I'm like, does it look like a lady's handbag? Um, so I got that, and it kind of used it as a briefcase replacement, but I didn't use it all that often. It was before my bag addiction. So then after my bag addiction, I was like, wait a minute, I have an amazing Hermes bag. I should use it every once in a while. So anyway, that green Speedy 40 Damier Pop became my go-to if I was going to a movie. I would even just bring it with me to throw, um, my wallet, car keys, phone, etc. in it, and I wasn't addicted yet, but then I found in the same collection in leather um, the same bag, so I got that. And then I've been experimenting with different sizes. I know I guess I now understand why ladies have a pocketbook with them when they go out on a Friday night or Saturday night, because they don't have pockets in their dresses to put their wallet, business cards, car keys, vape stuff, etc. So sometimes if I have clothes, uh, I gravitate towards clothes with pockets, but I bought a pair of shorts that doesn't have pockets, so now I can use a bag. as that. I've been experimenting. I got a smaller Speedy, like a 25, and then I tried to put a pair of sneakers in it because if I want to change my shoes later, and it didn't fit. And I realized, oh, this is too small. That's why you need bigger ones. But then I do have a couple now smaller bags. That way, if I'm going out and I don't have, it's really legal pads. Legal pads I need bigger, or notebooks I need the bigger size. But if I'm going out to a party or something, I can bring a smaller size bag. Um, and that's kind of how I became addicted to bags, and then different bags of different sizes and different materials and different colors. And it's almost gotten to the point where I feel like I'm not put together if I leave the house without a bag. But that's what it started because of shopping bags and the plastic NFL bags, and just wanted to really upscale my appearance, especially when traveling on the airplane. WrestleMania t-shirts. I like them, but it's not. Wendy doesn't only want to see me in a WrestleMania t-shirt. I like WrestleMania t-shirts when I travel because sometimes I can connect with a porter or a waiter or a bartender or something that also likes wrestling, and then I get into get into conversations and whatnot. So I do like that. So sometimes I'll wear a WrestleMania hat with the outfit or something like that. Um, so that's really how I got into bags. And I have to tell you, the most interesting thing that happened recently with it. I was at a party. I think it was a Red Meat Lovers Club dinner, and people think, like guys think, oh, I get a get a nice car, and the girls will be attracted. They'll ask questions or get a nice watch. But you get a nice watch, the only person that's going to talk to you is other guys, right? So I'm at a party with a bag, a Louis Vuitton or Hermes bag, even if it's just a little messenger bag, not that big. Um, and I found that girls will start approaching me and asking me about the bag. Now, the key is when I'm in the store, the key is when I look in the mirror, I have to say to myself, does it look like I'm holding my wife's pocketbook? Because that's not the look I'm going for. I'm looking for cool, right? The way the football player, when you see TikToks with NBA or musicians and stuff, they got a cool bag, they got a little backpack, a little side, little messenger bag. So I'm looking for cool. I'm not looking for like standing with my wife's pocketbook. Um, so anyway, so yeah, so no, I'm happily married to Wendy. I wouldn't do anything with girls starts coming up to, hey, that's a nice bag. Like they start asking me questions, and then if I know what bag they have, if I respond, oh, that's a nice, Louis Vuitton, that's a nice Alma, or that's a nice, you know, um, Picatin, or that's a nice, and if they they coming up to me and asking me questions, I'm responding, and then question, and I'm like, this is freaky. This is weird, man. Like this works. So, so that's a little side benefit to my new hobby. And I guess that's the point of dressing a little bit upscale. So I think I hit every point. I've been meaning to do this podcast. I wanted to like write down some notes and like tell myself, make sure I hit all the salient points. But I think I did it. I think I did a pretty good job. So yeah. So feel free to if you're listening to this on a podcast, please like it, subscribe. Matthew Mania podcast, it's about whatever I want it to be about. Everything's about wrestling, not always. Sponsored by BRCW Wrestling. Next show's August 31st. Check out bocatonwrestling.com. Also CCW Wrestling Training School if you'd like to become a professional wrestler or referee or get involved in the wrestling business. Reach out to our friends at CCW Wrestling School. Signature Real Estate Finder for all of your real estate needs in the state of Florida. Yasher Lachayel, our charity that helps soldiers in Israel desperately need that help. Red Meat Lovers Club. Shout out to Red Meat Lovers Club. Check them out at rmlcclub.com. I think it's rmlclub.com. And we're always having great events and charity fundraisers. So so if you're listening to the podcast, feel free to like and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, feel free to comment. What's your favorite brand of bag? Do you use a bag, etc. If you're a guy out there that uses bags, love to connect with you, share some stories. But anyway, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying my new hobby. I'm not going to do a podcast on it, though. All right. Thank you for joining us on the Matthew Mania podcast. Check out realestatefinder.com, matthewmania.com, BRCW, BocaRatonWrestling.com. Also, if you come to a Boca Raton Wrestling event, please make sure to check out the galleries. Every show has the galleries, the photos from that event. If it's one of my events and it's not a wrestling event, check out the galleries on matthewmania.com. We try to do our other events. We try to do photos there. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.
You know what time it is. 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 Matthew Mania, the time it says. You know what time it is. You know whose time it is. You know what time it is. Matthew Mania, the time it says. Yeah, got him shook, scared, can't look. We're not afraid of the big bad wolf. First comes the right, followed by the left hook. Execute perfect, this is textbook. If you ever test, make sure you bring the best. Head into the ring with the M on my chest. Any match, bring the ladders and the tables. Lock us in the cage and nobody can save you. When it's war, I'm coming to destroy. Napalm blast, I'm coming with the noise. They chant for the king, the girls and the boys. They saying I'm the best cause they didn't have a choice. You know what time, you know what time, you know what time it is. You know what time, you know what time, you know what time it is. You know what time, you know what time, you know what time it is. You know what time, you know what time, you know what time it is.